What's good, Josh? Your boy CrayG. Welcome back to CarX Drift Racing Online. Today, as you guys can see, this has been highly requested from a lot of you. You guys wanted me to share my tune or my build on the Falcon FC90S, aka the Mazda rx7 FC3S. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know a lot of people in the community have probably done these videos, released their tunes and stuff like that. But as I said, this was highly requested by all of you. So I'm gonna do it just for you guys. Now, as you can see, this is the Falcon FC90S right here. Honestly, this is like one of my favorite cars ever. The RX7 FC, like I'll take a FC over an FD any day. And I said that in a previous video of mine. But without further ado, let's get into the tune, man. So obviously I have it on the ultimate setup. I haven't really done most of these other setups, turbo racing, drift, any of that. I just go straight ultimate builds on every car. So I would presume that that's the norm, right? Going ultimate. So we got ultimate, right? My front spring length is 5 centimeters. My rear spring length is 3 centimeters. Now, honestly, when it comes to slamming your car, lowering your car, you want to have nice fitment. You know, you want to make sure your fitment looks good. You don't want to have it to where your wheel is like coming through the fender when you turn it. As you can see, if I go here, you can see the fitment's nice. It doesn't scuff. You want there to be no scuffage to get the cleanest look, in my opinion. I'm not sure if the spring length has any effect as far as how much you lower your car. I know if you lower it too much, you will scrape across the ground and you will not be able to drive. So just be mindful of that, man. Let's get some nice fitment going because a lot of you guys' fitment is trash. I'm gonna just be honest. Spring stiffness for the front and rear are both at 120. Sometimes I go a little bit more in the rear on certain cars just to transition a little quicker. But that's just me. Like I said, this is preference. It's just a blueprint. For different cars, they'll differ. But for this car, this is how I have it set up. Front and rear shock stiffness at 70%. My front toe is all the way to the left. All the way to the left. Rear toe all the way to the left. My front camber, now I put this number here. This not, you don't have to go exactly off of this, but I put about as much camber as I think would be okay in the front. So as you can see, I have that negative camber in the front. And I think that looks pretty good, you know, and it helps with the angle as well. Rear camber. So with the rear camber, I do have some rear camber on there just because I don't usually put it on cars, but just because, you know, I have it on this car, it's not that bad. I can actually lower it, but sometimes these numbers fluctuate. When you change other values, these numbers will fluctuate. So like if I change something over here, my camber numbers are gonna change and my rear camber is gonna change because in reality, that's what happens. You change something else like spring stiffness, you have to adjust everything else to compensate for what you just changed in that other area. But front anti-roll bars at 100, rear anti-roll bars at 150. All right, so when it comes to caster and Ackerman, for caster, people say you want your wheel to be flat on the ground. As you can see, I run with 6.5 on every car. It's not completely flat, but it's there. You can kind of just, you know, mess with this. As you can see, the wheel move. Boom. This would be straight flat on the ground, max 10 caster, right? Now, you can go with that if you want. Me, personally, I have been comfortable at 6.5, so that's where I'm going to keep it. And then I rock a 10% Ackerman because I want to be able to get as much angle as I can without spinning out. And then, obviously, we max the steering angle out. So, if we go over to our wheels, I have 17s on here. I could go down to 16s if I want. It just all depends on look. 16s don't look half bad. They look a little small in my opinion, so that's why I rock with 17s. I'm running 265s on the tire width because we still want to be a little grippy, not too much. I mean, we can, like I said, go down to 255, whatever. Like I said, these are preference. You can change the numbers however you want to more fit the way you drift and how it feels when you drift. So you can use this blueprint and then just go from there. Front tire pressure is at a stock 200, rear tires at 190. Adhesion is 100%. I run 100% adhesion on every car. Every single car, that's it. 100% adhesion, keep it like that. Front wheel track is at 5, basically because I'm just moving out to get that fitment right, you know. So I could have went 6, but I kept it at 5 just so there wouldn't be too much scuffage when I'm turning, you know, so it looks clean. My rear base is just at 1. I put it out just a little bit, so you know that fitment right there. You know what I mean? Got to keep it nice and crispy. And my front tire profile is 35. Rear tire profile is 35% as well. Engine, obviously, we maxing everything up. That just goes to show for itself. We got 900 horsepower right now, 550 pound-feet of torque in this fucking FC, man. It's litty. And then we go to transmission. So usually gears are preference as well. I fully lock the diff all the time, and I don't really mess with the gears. I kind of mess with the final drive a little bit. If the gears I feel are too long, then I'll increase the number here, which will shorten the gears. Now if I decrease this number, it'll lengthen the gear to make the gears longer, and then you have to go in and individually adjust each gear to the way you like. It depends on the gears you drift in. I'm more from second to fourth. I barely use fifth unless it's one of those big corners, but I'm from second to fourth, so I use second, third, and fourth gear. So you want them all kind of relatively close to each other, but you want each gear to be able to give you that amount of speed without fucking slamming the rev limiter, you know, on certain turns. So just kind of keep that in mind. My brake torque's at 1200 because I want to be able to just brake a little bit to kind of, I want to keep speed through the corners, but then I want to be able to brake like when tandeming and not lose my angle. So that's why you know, a little bit of brake torque in there. Front brake bias 60%. ABS no, and launch control no. And I mean, that is pretty much the tune, the setup. When it comes to body kits, you guys can, you know, customize the car however you want it to look. This is pretty much how I have it. I made this livery as well. It's simple, you know, it's simple. It's just flavor. It just shows flavor in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's pretty much it for the build. Now I'm gonna throw a little bit of gameplay in here for you guys so you guys can see it in action. I appreciate you coming to the video. Make sure you drop a like and hit that sub button if you haven't already. Join the Discord to keep up with the community, and follow me on Twitch. I stream on Twitch Monday through Friday. Twitch.tv/xCrayG. The link will be in the description. Enjoy the gameplay. Deuces.
Oh, I was doing so good.
Oh shit. That was gonna be hard to turn them up. Fuck.
Yep, I fucked up again, brethren.
I still wonder why they took out parking lot B. This gotta be like one of my favorite tracks, bro. Keep it a stack with y'all, like.
Oh, my bad. I would definitely say this is one of my favorite tracks for sure. We'll wait until I get back over here again and see if we can run it again.
Damn.
Yeah, let me know when you're back at the beginning.
Damn.
Don't reset.